Disc golf.
So, John, do you like to play golf?
Well, no, I don't play golf very much, but I play disc golf.
Disc golf? What's that?
Well, some people call it frisbee golf. Basically, there are courses at parks. It's similar to golf, but the courses are much smaller. You use frisbees or flying discs, and you have to throw it. So it's different from golf. You're not aiming for a small hole, but actually you need to throw the frisbee into a basket.
Oh, that sounds fun. Is it very easy?
Well, it can be easy or it can be very difficult. It depends on the course. Many different parks have different disc golf courses, and you can be a easy beginner or you can be an expert. It all depends on how much you want to get involved.
I see.
My friends and we're beginners, so we just like to have fun. So we just do the easy courses and have a good time. I think it's relaxing.
So you only need one frisbee?
Well, actually, it's better to have 2 or 3. You can play with one, but in fact, when you learn more about disc golf, there are different sizes and weights of the discs.
Why would you want a different size disc?
Well, it's similar to the clubs in golf. When you throw your first throw, you want it to go very far, so you should use a heavier disc. But when you're near the basket, you should make a short throw, so you want a lightweight disc.
I see. That's interesting.
Yeah, so as I said, when you want to become an expert, you have to spend more money to get better equipment. It's like any sport, I guess. In fact, they have disc golf competitions now. So you can even participate in a tournament and win some prize money.
Did you ever compete?
Oh no, I'm just a beginner. I don't think I want to be too serious about it.
So golf has 18 holes. How about disc golf? Does it have 18 holes too?
Well, not usually. Golf courses are very large, but disc golf courses are usually found in parks. So they usually have only 6 holes, but you can play 18 holes by doing all 6 3 times each.
I see. How do you keep score?
Scorekeeping is like real golf, so the winner should have the lowest score. Every time you throw a frisbee or a flying disc, you have to mark 1 point. So if you can do a hole in one, that means you can hit the basket on your first try. Then you'll only have 1 point. That's best. But I'm not that good at it, so usually I have 3 or 4 points for each course.
I see. You said disc golf is at the park. Do you have little kids playing in the middle of the course?
Sometimes the kids, of course, they can play wherever they want. And the courses do go through the park where kids play, so we have to be very careful. And we have to use good sportsmanship to wait for the course to be clear.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
It is fun. Maybe you can join us next time.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Soup for supper.
So, Sarah, I see you eat soup every day at work. Why are you eating soup every day?
That's because I love to cook soup.
So you make the soup?
Yes, it's very easy to make.
So you cook it and then you just bring it to work every day?
Yeah, I just make a lot on Monday, and then I bring it to work every day of the week.
Oh, nice. So how do you make the soup? What's your secret?
Well, I like to cook very easy, so I buy meat that's already cut up, usually chicken, and then some rice, usually brown rice, and then I buy some vegetables. So after I bought the ingredients, I chop them up and I put them all together in water until it boils and add some seasoning.
Okay. So you say the water boils. So as soon as the water boils, that's when you put in all the ingredients?
Yes, that's right.
So you don't put in the ingredients before the water boils.
No, I guess it's just easier for the water to be hot because then the vegetables and the meat cook a little faster.
So how do you give the soup flavoring?
I usually add salt and pepper, maybe some garlic, and depending on the type of soup, either maybe some soy sauce or lemon juice.
Okay. Do you put in the flavoring after you put in the ingredients or before you put in the ingredients?
Maybe after, but usually right about all at the same time.
Okay.
So I just put everything in at one time.
And then after you cook the soup, do you put the soup in the refrigerator? Do you let it sit outside?
I usually eat some right then, and I also put it in containers for the week. But I let it sit in the containers out on the counter for a while for it to cool
Okay.
before I put it in the refrigerator.
All right. And so you don't put it in the refrigerator until it is cool?
Until it's about room temperature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And then how do you heat it up? Do you heat it up in a pot or do you heat it up in the microwave?
In the microwave. It's the easiest.
Yeah, nice. So you make enough for 5 meals?
Maybe, sometimes. If I think I will get tired of eating it during the week, then maybe I'll just make enough for 3 or 4 meals. But if it's some kind that I think is really delicious and I know I'll want to eat it every day, then I'll make a lot.
Well, if that happens, when you make the soup, you can make it for 6 or 7 and give me a bowl.
Okay, I'll do that next time.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Living in Melbourne.
Hey, Shirley. You're from Australia, right?
Yeah, that's right, from down under.
Okay. Are you from Sydney?
No, I'm not from Sydney. Actually, I'm from Melbourne.
Melbourne?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So are there any nice parks in Melbourne?
Well, you know, Josh, Melbourne is a great city. And one of the reasons is because there are lots of parks. There's a really big park right in the centre of the city.
Is it beautiful?
It's gorgeous. It's called the Botanical Gardens, and they have plants from many different places around the world. And there's a lake, a small lake in the centre. But what I really love about that park is at one time of the year, they have lots of big fruit bats that fly into the park and they hang upside down from the trees. They're really huge, like big sacks. It's very cool.
That sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
So is there good shopping in your city?
Oh, there's great shopping in Melbourne. You know, Melbourne has people from many different countries. So we have a great variety of things and clothing, cars, coffee
Foods.
shops from many different countries. So it's a great place to shop.
Wonderful. What about housing? Is there cheap housing or is it really expensive?
Well, it's not cheap, but it's not as expensive as Sydney. Sydney is the biggest city in Australia. It's very expensive to live. But in Melbourne, the housing is so-so.
How do you get around in Melbourne? Do you take the bus?
You can take the bus, but Melbourne has something very special that no other city in Australia has. We have a tram system. I think they're called trolley cars in America, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. Well, Melbourne has a really big tram system. So you can go lots of places in the city by tram. It's really good fun.
What about the tram? Is it expensive?
Not so expensive. Cheaper than the bus. Maybe about the same as the train. Cheaper than a car. Probably one of the cheapest ways to travel in the city.
What about schools in Melbourne? Is there a big university?
Melbourne has 3 or 4 really big universities and some smaller universities too. Also, they have some very good private high schools and some very good public high schools.
Great. That sounds like a great place to go to school.
It's a pretty great place to live.
Hey, Shirley.
Hey, Josh.
So how was your weekend?
Quite busy this weekend.
Really? Those are hard.
Yeah.
So what did you do on Saturday?
Well, Saturday morning, I usually clean the house.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of boring, but I have to clean the bathroom and then the kitchen and then the lounge room because I have lots of cats. And the cats leave hair everywhere. So I always have to clean on Saturday mornings.
Yes, cats are messy.
Yeah.
So after you cleaned, what did you do?
Well, in the afternoon, I went for a walk up the mountain. It was a beautiful sunny day. There were no clouds in the sky.
Wow.
It was gorgeous. So I walked up the mountain and I saw a ferret.
A ferret?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're a little furry animal, 4 legs, tail. Not like a rabbit, but about the same size as a rabbit.
Okay.
And they're kind of gold-brown colour.
Wow. Did you see any other animals on your walk?
No. I
Okay.
didn't see any other animals on the ground, but I did see a beautiful bird flying in the sky.
Wow. Do
Yes.
you know what kind?
I think it was an ibis. It's a big bird that usually walks in the water. It has long legs and it was white with a black head.
Great. So after your walk, did you do anything else?
I went home and then I watched some TV.
Okay.
That was about it for my Saturday.
Okay. What did you do on Sunday?
Sunday, I went to the art museum.
Really?
Yeah.
Great.
I really like to go and see new art, pictures or paintings or photographs or sometimes sculptures.
Okay. So who's your favorite artist?
I don't really have a favourite artist, but I really like watercolours.
Okay.
So pictures that are painted with just a kind of soft painting style.
Do you like paintings of nature?
I do like paintings of nature. I especially like paintings of flowers and animals
Okay.
and places that have water, like lakes or rivers or the sea.
Oh, that sounds like you had a great weekend.
Yeah, it was good, thanks.
Okay.
So Anna, you're from Portugal, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, because I'm actually thinking of going to visit Europe this summer, and I thought Portugal would be a great place to visit.
Oh yeah, Portugal is great, especially in the summer. It will be really warm, and you can go to lots of places in Portugal. You can go to the north, where we have a lot of mountains, and you can do all kinds of activities like archery and horse riding.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Well, actually, I was thinking of going to the beach. Can you give me some advice for what's the best time of year to go when perhaps there are not too many tourists around?
Oh, yeah, if you want to avoid tourists, you should definitely not come in August. August is really crowded, and there are just so many people in the south of Portugal. You can try to come in June. June
All
is
right.
already warm, but there are not too many people, so it will be easier for you to find accommodation. There are some really nice hotels and hostels around. So, what kind of place were you thinking of staying in?
Well, actually, I don't really mind too much. I think I'd like to see what it's like to maybe for normal people in Portugal, what it would be like to go on holiday and have an authentic Portuguese experience. So maybe I I don't really want to stay in a big international hotel. What's a typical Portuguese place to stay in that's nice for a summer holiday?
That's interesting. Yeah, in that case, you should definitely avoid the big hotels or any
Mm-hmm.
hostels. There are some apartments that you can rent, so you can just live in an apartment by the beach.
All right.
And yeah, they're just in a normal building with other Portuguese people, but you can rent it and stay there, and it's really close to the beach. It's like a 1 minute walk, so it will
Really?
be really convenient for you.
And is this is by the Atlantic Ocean?
Yes, yes, it is.
All right, that's sounds like a very good idea, staying at an apartment. How much should I budget for that?
Hmm, I am not really sure. It will probably be a bit more expensive
Mm-hmm.
than a hotel,
Really?
but not in the long term. You can pay about 30 euros per night, I think,
Wow, that's
for
cheap.
a nice location. Yeah. If you come with friends, though, you can also rent a villa. We have some villas also by the beach.
Does it have a swimming pool?
It does have a swimming pool, and
Wow,
they have plenty of rooms. So if you want to come with a big group, that's definitely a better option.
that sounds like a great idea. I can invite my colleagues along. So, do you have any final tips for me for my holiday in Portugal?
Well, I mean, if you want to stay in the south, in the Algarve, then I definitely recommend you check out the nightlife. It can be really lively, and there are night markets and where you can buy lots of souvenirs and people just hang around. So I definitely recommend that.
Okay, and what was the name again? The Algarve.
The Algarve, yeah, that's the southern part of Portugal, so you
Ooh,
can't miss it.
gotta remember that. Thank you very much.